Welcome back to the Aftermatch with Kirsten Beav. Come for the rugby, stay for the Aftermatch. Yes, the All Blacks first team of the year was named yesterday. You've had your instant reaction. You've had your Super Rugby review. Now it is time to look ahead at what is going to be one of the best All Blacks calendars that we have ever seen. 13 test matches,
Yes.
Beav. 17 games in total across the next 5 months of rugby. A brand new coach, new players, so much excitement around the country. And I reckon that's what stood out to me. I've been up and down the country. Yeah, I keep bleeding on about it.
Yes.
But I've been up and down the country.
Almost moaning.
Not moaning. Grateful. But I've been up and down the country over the last couple of days, and the amount of people, so many Aftermatch listeners, thank you for all coming up and saying hello. Josh from the West Coast in particular, you've been with us since day one, since we were on radio for those 3 years together. Josh used to send us the most funniest messages, like every day you'd keep us entertained, and I finally got to meet you. He came across to the Warriors in Christchurch, and he told me he's going to South Africa for the greatest rivalry tour. So absolutely brilliant to meet you. But this year, Beav, this calendar, like it doesn't get more exciting than what we've got to come with the Nations Championship at the start and the end. And then smack bang in between, we have the greatest rivalry tour for the first time in 30 years.
Yeah, it's exciting. And I guess on top of that, one you haven't mentioned, and, you know, we try and say it every year, and sometimes we might be trying to convince ourselves that they're back, but I saw a predicted Wallabies team this morning on one of the social media sites I'm looking at going, that's an outfit. That is a decent team.
Did they have your midfield combination?
No, because he's still playing rugby league.
Oh, okay.
No, it's Ikitau Soali'i would be there. And you know I'm a big fan of those.
Yeah,
those
you
lads.
love Len.
Yeah, lovely.
Lovely. Who did they have at 10 out of interest? Did
they had Carter Gordon and
Yeah.
Donaldson on the bench.
Yeah.
And they had
Which you wouldn't.
they had Lonergan at 9 and McDermott on the bench.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. Which I can see
What about in the
justified.
Lucies?
Tough to go. Oh, they had my two from the.
Did they have Harry or did they have Charlie?
No, Harry.
They did have Harry.
Harry and Bobby.
World class.
And Bobby on
Bobby
at 6.
B.
Yeah, Bobby B.
Bobby
at 6.
B. And what, McWright?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
McBride and Wilson.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we've gone off track.
We have. Of course
we're talking Wallabies.
I just didn't want you to forget about the bled and all of that.
I don't want to.
Yeah.
I will not forget about the Bleeders though. But it is going to be an incredible year.
Yes.
An incredibly tough year.
Hugely
Probably
tough.
the toughest year we've also had, which makes it really exciting for fans because we've got so many quality matches to come.
Yep.
And when you talk to Dave Rennie, this is the perfect prep, the perfect preparation for him.
Yeah.
And this team ahead of what will be an epic Rugby World Cup next year. This is a dream for those coaching groups.
Yes.
Not only are they going to be put to the test so many times, but they get to be on tour together for 7 weeks during South Africa and learn a whole lot about themselves. And then later on in the year as well, they get a chance to build depth by taking this extended squad, Beav. It's great for them.
Oh, and like you think about the World Cup, it's the closest thing to a World Cup as far as obviously big games all the time, but also you talk about 7 weeks together. When you get to pick a World Cup team, you're obviously going to be picking a squad of 30 odd. You got to work out guys who are going to be not good tourists, but good to be in a touring group, not necessarily be in the 23. And if there's, dummy spitters or there's, positive, there's positive guys who can do their job for the guys playing and stuff like that. So that's all going to be, I guess, a part of the learnings that they'll be able to take as coaches. So it's a wonderful dress rehearsal.
Yeah, 2026 is going to be some year, the second half of the year for the international season. Yesterday we did an instant reaction and we asked you to send in your comments around that 34-man All Blacks team that was named. Who were the surprises for you? Who were the surprise omissions? What you thought of the team? Well, Beav's been in the comments and plucked out the very best for you. So I'll get you started, Beav.
We're not hiding from anything here.
We're not hiding from anything. Really got to feel for Karifi Dupes. He's been the best loose forward in New Zealand for a while, and I'm saying that as a Chiefs supporter. I'm most excited to see the Hurricanes backline with Will Jordan at 15, CR9, they're now calling him. CR9, got a ring to it, doesn't it?
Yes.
RL 10, Ruben Love at 10, Fehi on one wing, Josh Morby on the other, and a midfield of Geordie Barrett and Billy Proctor. So you've got a Canes 9, 10, 12, 13, 11, 14 with Will Jordan. To be fair, if they put that out there on form, no one would argue right now, would you?
No
you
one's gonna
couldn't argue.
No.
Whether they'll do that for the first test, considering the workload that the Hurricanes have had, not sure.
And the fact that you'd be having 2 debutants.
Yeah.
Billy's still pretty green at that level too. So look, they might.
But we wouldn't argue if
you
they
wouldn't
did.
argue.
Yeah.
Yeah. They might pump for a little bit more experience, but as I say, You wouldn't argue.
Duplessis Karifi,
Yep.
who's been highlighted here. I would say in all of these messages that you've pulled out, Beav, there were probably two and maybe a third in Rico Ioane, but two in Duplessis, in Big Jim, Tavatava Nawai. Rico was mentioned a fair few times, and I guess Noah Hotham was the other one as well. Talk to us about these guys that didn't make it.
Yeah, I think let's start with Dupes, who has just been fantastic in leading the Hurricanes to the title. I think a few things transpire here. I would say it's got very little to do with his form. And when I say that, and I know you're probably thinking, well, what do you mean, Beav? There's sometimes when you're not picked, you know deep down that you couldn't have done anything, you deserve not to be picked. But in this occasion, Dupes can't do anything more.
Yeah.
What he has put up this year is the very best version of Duplessis Karifi. Now, from the selector's point of view, and I don't know this, I'll make that clear, I'm guessing that they've got Adi Savea locked in as their 7.
Yeah.
That's the way they're thinking. So that's our 7.
Yeah.
And now we try and make up a squad. Now, do you carry a specialist 7 behind your captain? And that's what's all of a sudden you got to start to think, because you're picking, what will they end up picking?
Well, when Luke Jacobson can play
6.
7, Segner can play 7.
Well, Luke Jacobson and Segner are both probably at the moment now 7s, but they can also be a valuable asset come a bench spot or something like that. So that I think he's victim of circumstances as far as what their squad makeup looks like. And absolutely on another day and another coach, he might say, nah, we need Duplessis in there. But as I say, he couldn't have done anything more. Does he deserve to be picked? Of course he does. But that's the brutal world of trying to be an All Black is at our best, it should be hard to make.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, Dupes, who I've got a lot of time for as a person and player, he couldn't have done any more. Couldn't have done any more. But that's it. That's the unfortunate reality. It's not, I wouldn't say he's deficient anywhere or somebody does more or something else. Like anything he would be deficient in is things beyond him, i.e., not a line-out option or what have you. That would be all that. Who are the other ones?
Well, I'll go into this question a bit more. This one is from Ash. Would love to see some analysis on how Rennie may see Kyle Preston with Noah Hotham obviously missing out and Kyle sitting behind him, I guess, at the Crusaders. Kicking off both feet is a big benefit. He didn't get much game time this year. Hotham was outstanding and, in my opinion, probably ahead of Ratima. Is there a style that Rennie is specifically looking for? With his halfbacks, I'm pretty optimistic about this team overall, and the depth is very substantial, to be fair. And a lot of people are saying that Kyle Preston probably right now sits behind Roigard as your bench impact. Yeah,
I mean, with those comments, like wonderful for Kyle Preston, the thing you'd have to qualify that with is be tough to say that he's jumped that high up the queue, considering he just hasn't played a lot. That's the reality. He has sat beside Hotham. Beneficially for Preston himself is the All Blacks have seen enough.
Yes.
And they've seen something there. Whether they don't see it in guys they didn't pick or that he really does have over them, the things that I would imagine would have probably counted in his favour is his speed to the ruck and getting there and clearing. When Preston first came on the scene, a lot of people were pointing to the fact that wonderful runner, try scorer. But that was on the back of support lines.
Yeah, it was great. Ran a great support line.
Great support line, and that, but I mean that is appealing.
4 tries in his first Super Rugby game.
Yes, all
support play.
Yeah, and yet people all of a sudden twist that in their head, thinking, "Oh, he's a wonderful runner."
True, yeah.
Yeah. But like, as opposed to say a Roigard who's going to have a look at a ruck break and go, or look at a ruck and go, "I'm going to have a crack here."
Yeah, he's not the supporter.
That's not.
It's him.
But that can be beneficial too. Because that means he's getting to rucks and he's not even thinking about that. He's thinking of getting the ball quickly to a Ruben or a Damien or a Bowden, So that would probably have helped, I would have thought. But yeah, I guess it is when you talk bolters in this squad and like I was on a show on Sunday and I said I vividly sort of felt that there'll be someone that no one's picked.
Yeah.
And for me, yes, Preston's name's been lobbed out there in groups of 6 or 7 halfbacks, but no one believed that was happening on Sunday.
Yeah.
And for him to get named, I think he's a genuine bolter.
Yeah. And do you think he does sit above Cortez at the moment in that number 2 spot?
No, I would think
Cortez will still be on the bench.
Well, I mean, it's just, to be fair, what I said at the top there, the reality is it'd be tough to say he's number 2 just through how much have you seen.
But they've seen enough.
They've seen enough. But to say that someone's got to number 2 status on the back of...
To be fair, him and Cortez has probably had similar game time this year.
Oh, but Cortez has started the last month of big footy for the Chiefs. So, I mean, hey, look, who knows? They might see Cortez as just a like-for-like starting alternative to Cam. Because they're like-for-like in a lot of ways. And granted, Preston might be the bench man.
Yeah.
Because they might be thinking, speed of game, right, how can we speed this up?
Okay, great. Well, that's exactly what people wanted to know. From Dunk, I'm most excited to see how Preston goes. So,
yes.
And I reckon that's the case with so many of these comments. People are really, really excited by Kyle Preston, 100%. Which is great. This is what we want. We want excitement around our team. He was never given a proper opportunity under Razor. If and when Roy Gadd gets injured, All Blacks look most vulnerable at halfback, and that's why I guess people are excited to see some others. A couple of points here. As a Chiefs fan, I feel for Kirifi. And number 2, also disappointed Rennie has gone for Anton Leonard-Brown, not Big Jim Tavatava Nawai. Considering he said he was picking on form, I guess it's really hard for New Zealanders that haven't watched this Japanese competition to know where Anton Leonard-Brown is at.
Yep.
And that was also suggested of Beauden Barrett. And the form that he is currently in at the moment, and Damien McKenzie too. Yeah,
well, let me address the 2 10s first, and then I think we can. There's probably a bigger conversation around Leonard Brown, and I'm happy to jump into that too. The 2 10s, about probably not 72 hours ago, but a few more than 72 hours ago, there was people walking around going, "We found our All Black 10."
Yeah. After last week's
sensational semi-final from Damien McKenzie. So the fact that now people are saying, how did he get picked?
We change our minds so quickly.
That fascinates me. Look, I'm not everyone knows I've got a relationship with him, but he was always getting picked. One bad performance, and yes, it was a bad performance, and he'll be the first to admit it was not his best performance, but he was always getting picked. And Beauden Barrett, the conversations around people suggesting that he might miss, for me, he is a 140 or 50 test All Black.
48.
He is a 2 or 3 time World Player of the Year. And before you jump down my throat and go, Beaver, he's older now, granted, he is. However, you've now got an environment which I believe he will prosper in. And the coaches have said, yep, we're going to pick on form. Everyone's got a clean slate. But I'm also going to take me a little bit of that guy over there who is at his best as good as anyone in the world, and he's been playing in an environment. And this isn't Einstein stuff. The Blues have clearly been in an environment which is not Beauden Barrett.
Yeah.
So why would you not take a little bit of a punt on 140-odd test All Black?
It's not a punt, is it?
Well, I'm taking the piss, aren't I?
Are you?
Yeah, sorry if you couldn't pick up on that. But why would you not chuck him in there? And the other thing that's glaringly obvious to me is there is no obvious alternative to Beauden Barrett in a 33-man squad or whatever it was.
Well, the glaringly obvious thing for me is all 3 of those 10s are on notice because Richie Mo'unga is going to be available in a month's time.
Well, there you go too.
So either all 4 of them are going to South Africa or one of the current 3 aren't going to make it.
Yes.
So they're all on notice, and they're all now got to put their best foot forward in front of these coaches, Beav, which is great, isn't it?
And on that note, I still fully anticipate Damien McKenzie being the All Black 15.
Yes.
And I don't know Bodie overly well, but from everything you hear from, say, someone like a Damien or even a Richie, what a wonderful person to have next to Ruben Love if this is the start of Ruben's time as a 10, because by all accounts, Bodie is not selfish when it comes to helping and guiding people through. So what better person for Ruben Love and to have his former idol to be there in his ear, leading into a big game.
Yeah.
Look, Ruben might be staying against France. Well, wouldn't it be great to have Bodie there running shotgun with him saying, mate,
rooming together,
helping him here and there. And it's just little things like that, which it actually fascinated me that there was so many people thought that he wasn't going to get picked.
Yeah.
It had never come across my mind, to be fair.
Anton Leonard-Brown, the other one, Dave.
Yep. Yeah, so I guess this is one that, and I get it. I really do, when Ren said what he said. And look, I would go as far to say that when Anton went to Japan, he left under the old regime.
Yeah.
There would have been a chance, I think, that maybe his All Black days were done. But soon as Rennie got the job, my thoughts changed instantly. And this isn't, I'll make this clear, this isn't a Leonard Brown, Dave Rennie relationship.
Yeah, Chiefs bias.
Bias or anything like that.
Yeah.
Dave Rennie is a winner and the most competitive coach I've probably come across. So he ain't picking people just because they've played for his teams in the past. He's picking Anton Leonard Brown, in my mind, because of how Dave Rennie wants to play. And if you've been excited by any interviews with Dave Rennie since he's been named All Black coach, it's because he's mentioned words about optimism.
Yes.
He's mentioned words about counter-attack and that we haven't done anything on that for 2 years.
You're starting to sound like Ted, B.
Yeah, I know. I just morphed into Ted when I talk rugby. And he's talked about turnover ball.
Yes.
And he highlighted the fact we haven't done anything by that. Now, it's no great, I'm not going to give any great secrets away here, but around counter-attack, around turnover, Dave Rennie prides his teams on being fit enough to play that. And for those who don't understand the mechanics, and I'm not trying to take the piss out of here, but when you talk about counter-attack, some key guys in any counter-attack movement are your midfielders. Because if you can imagine in a counter-attack situation, you got 3 guys sitting back there who are usually your 2 wingers and a fullback, or maybe a winger and a fullback and a 10. They're back there. They start your counter-attack, but the key to having any success from a counter-attack is getting those extra numbers back. And those extra numbers usually have a 13, a 12 on their back. And that is why I believe Leonard Brown's position under this regime will be significantly more prominent than it has been for probably the previous 8 years of his career, where he's been a very much at times a bit bar player. The same reason I think if you watch Billy Proctor live and you see his work rate, he will be a big weapon for a Dave Rennie coach team. And yeah,
it's great insights
about
look, what you need.
Yeah, and this is,
if that's the style you're going to play.
That's the style you're going to play. So for someone like a lot of our comments, and we know here on the aftermatch, there's no bigger supporters than the Highlanders number 12 than this show.
Yes,
I wonder if that sort of thoughts have come into thing, and also at the same time, it's not a Tavatava Nawai versus Leonard Brown situation.
No,
Leonard Brown has been. When you look at the 4 midfielders named,
he's 13.
Leonard Brown's been picked as a 13. Proctor's been picked as a 13. And then you got 2 12s who are absolutely probably the 2 best 12s in the world.
So they are going to both gunning for that 12 jersey.
You would have thought so. And
so who's making it when you can't just chuck Geordie back to 15, not in your team, because Damien's there.
But that's what I say, like, for someone like the difference, the Tavatava Nawai, the same with Duplessis. Couldn't have done anything more, but it's a bit of a circumstances, because if you're only picking 4 midfielders, the difference has got to somehow beat out Tupaia or a Geordie Barrett.
Yeah.
And unfortunately,
the 2 best players in Super Rugby.
Unfortunately for Big Jim at the moment, those 2 are unbelievable right now.
Yeah. That's great insights, Beav. Another message in here from Jack. He's also mentioned Duplessis, but completely justifiable with the Anton Segner selection. I think everyone's...
what a story. Unbelievable.
Okay, so we touched on it yesterday, just like scratch the surface on the fact that this is the first ever German-born All Black. So he was born in Frankfurt. He spent the first 15 years of his life playing rugby. He watched the 2011 Rugby World Cup as a 10-year-old, Beav. Unfortunately, you weren't one of the names that he dropped to me yesterday. He talked about the McCaws, the Reeds. He was watching the Lucies. Much to your surprise. I was waiting for him to mention a name, but he said, I was really focused on the forward pack.
Yeah.
Look, fair enough to you, Anton Segner, and you've clearly picked up a lot from those guys as well. Now he's in the same environment that his heroes. He was sitting in Germany as a 10-year-old, getting up in the middle of the night to watch our Rugby World Cup. He came over as a 15-year-old. He'd made the decision to follow his dream and come and see what rugby was like in New Zealand. He wanted to be around like this environment, the best team in the world, and to see how New Zealand embraced rugby, because he's in a footballing nation in Germany, right? So he made the decision to leave his family as a 15-year-old. It was initially supposed to be a 6-month stopover with Nelson College there. He ended up playing so well that he got picked in the first 15. So as a 5th former, he ended up getting a scholarship, full scholarship, and finishing with them as the captain alongside his great friend now, Lester Whanganuku.
Yes.
And the rest is history. He's been in New Zealand for 9 years, making that sacrifice to be away from his family who still reside in Germany. And so when he gets this call from Rennes, he's calling his father at 3 a.m. in Germany to tell him. Like, it's the most unbelievable story, isn't it? And we had something similar with Fabian Holland.
Yeah.
To have two internationals that saw the All Blacks brand on the world stage so many years ago when they were kids, and to be so inspired and to want to come to New Zealand and then to have made it is like, it's remarkable.
It's remarkable. It's almost emotional when you.
It is emotional. I feel like I'm crying here. I feel like I'm his mother.
when you think about that, like
it's so powerful, the All Blacks.
Yeah, and that's why I guess we've always got to be so conscious of making sure that it's always like that.
Yeah.
What other sports team in the world would a kid think like that? And I can imagine like there's franchise teams like play for LA Lakers or things
the Bulls
like that.
Or
the Bulls,
whoever.
that's cool.
Yeah.
But to think that you would want to be another countryman.
You want to be a Kiwi to play for the All Blacks. This is your dream.
Like, I have never had any ambition to move to Australia and play for their cricket team. Like, it's just never come across my mindset. But the fact that he decided to do that, it just shows what, I guess, the All Blacks were at the time. And then, like, I just wrote down, he was 15 when he up sticks. Now, went
to stay with a homestay family in Nelson.
I was 17 and had sleepless nights and wondered if I was doing the right thing by driving 20 minutes to be a day student at Wesley and leaving Waiuku College. And,
you've got issues. Beav.
Yeah, and I hummed and hard about that for a while to further my rugby career. So to think that is the decision he made.
The sacrifice that he made.
But even like, and I'm sorry to dwell on this, and I know we're a punchy podcast, but if we can just stay here on the Cigna thing, like, you've got no idea how good or bad you are as a 15-year-old playing in a place where we didn't even know they played rugby.
Yeah.
Like, I mean,
back yourself.
Respectfully, like, I'm a German 15-year-old and I'm okay at rugby. Oh, should I go to New Zealand and see if I'm really, really good? Like, at what stage do you, like, even the bravery in that decision? And it's not like, for those who are overseas listening, Nelson, they're not like, say, the top 5, but they're not far off.
They're a good first 15
They're a very
program,
good
though.
rugby school.
Yeah.
So to just throw yourself into elite level, it's pretty impressive. Like, it's more than impressive. It's ridiculous.
It's crazy.
And look, I've said it many a time, but I don't know who his manager is. But if you haven't got a German film crew following him,
okay, so they do.
They do.
Okay, so listen to this. I found this out yesterday when I was in Palmerston, and everyone's like, "Where's Kirsty? Is she doing renovations again?" No, I was at the Fielding Rugby Club in Palmerston. But I found out that all season he's had a film crew following him around. So it's been organised, and I don't think at the start of the season they would have been thinking he's going to be an All Black. They must have been following him, and I'm sure we're going to find out whenever it comes out.
Yeah.
They must have been following him just because of the story.
Yeah.
The story of him sacrificing and leaving, and now he's with the Blues and all of that. Never dreaming that this is where it was going to end up. They will now continue following him for the rest of the season. Beav. That's a Netflix fairy tale documentary waiting to hit our video screens.
Anton, if your manager didn't have maybe a 200K All Black making bonus in that film contract, then you're with the wrong manager, and maybe I can do your work in the future. But yeah, that's brilliant.
Big fan of the aftermatch, Anton, too.
Oh, good on him.
He's also a lot bigger in real life than you think. When he
You've seen him.
I know, but it's when you see them around regular people.
Yeah,
he's at when he's on the field with all of these other monsters, he just looks the same. But when you see him amongst the regular folk,
do I
you
need
go,
to highlight that you
whoa.
saw him doing a promo for children yesterday? Of course he's going to look bigger.
No, but he's like walking around in front of us adults. It's just that he's not around your Patricks and your Daltons. Incredible story. So yes, look, we probably took 10 minutes talking about that story, but worth it. It's a great story, and he will probably become another favourite of the aftermatch. How many do we have here? Preston, great selection in my humble opinion. He looked to be ahead of Ratama. Again, another person saying that. New Canes boys, I'm just thrilled for Josh Morby. A lot of Corey Jane about him.
Yes.
I'm completely biased as a Canes man, so I also think that Kenny Naholo must have come really close. But it's such a solid team, and I can't wait for this side to get out of there. Those two Canes boys, Josh Morby and Fehi.
Yeah.
Again, like, what a story they are.
Yes.
To have shared the all-time outright Super Rugby record with 17 tries apiece. The fact that Josh Morby was in Montpellier in France a year ago, not thinking he was ever going to come back to New Zealand.
Was it always a 1 year deal? Like, what was?
No, it was a multi-year deal. I don't think things worked out.
Yeah.
And he got out of the decision. On the Fihi situation, so clarification now, he's not out of the deal. They're still trying to get him out of the deal.
He'll get out of the deal.
Well, currently he's not, but they've picked him anyway, haven't they?
Yeah. And I believe he wants to get out of the deal.
Oh.
Yeah.
Must do.
Yeah. So this is great. And look, those two, people have pointed to the Leonard Brown and Bowden Barrett. They said they were picking on form. That's an easy pot shot. But for me, these two show that they did.
Yeah.
They've gone with the hot hands and Fehi, who had an unbelievable campaign, and Morby, who if you had told me at the start of the year Morby was going to be an All Black, like you were like, geez, you'd be struggling to make the Hurricanes top team. But his form has been incredible. And before Morby went away, and like obviously you said that things didn't work out in Montpellier, well, it's funny because before he went away, good footballer, but certainly not someone you thought, he would have been an All Black if he'd stayed. And you sort of felt like maybe he had one or two errors in him a game. Come back, errors, none. That's where I think the comparisons between the Corey Jane and the Ben Smiths of the world is one of these back three guys who just doesn't make a mistake. Yeah. But on top of not making mistakes, now he's the X factor has just almost gone boom overnight. And that's, for me, was the big thing that sort of made you take notice, especially in the last month of his stuff with the Hurricanes. He did a couple of runs in the weekend in that final, which were a little bit special. Like, I had Cully in my ear from about 4 o'clock that Morby has got to be an All Black. And at about 8:30 on Saturday night, I was like, Cully, you did right.
I think before 8:30.
Yeah, I was starting to believe.
With a 7:05 kickoff. It was a lot before 8:30. Okay, let's go through the All Black schedule then. And do what you did last year. Let's bank a few games, Beav.
Please.
13 tests, 17 games. I'm going to go through and you can bank them.
Yes.
4th of July, France, Christchurch.
Of course, Independence Day, is it?
It is in my country.
Yeah, not here. Yeah, that's a banker.
We'll bank it. Italy, 11th of July in Wellington.
Say no more. Banked.
Ireland, Eden Park, 18th of July.
Isn't it interesting that so much hype last year around the Fortress and that? We've got a bit of a Fortress test early, the Irish.
Yeah. But
turn your back on James Lowe, I turn my back on you. That's a All Blacks victory.
Stormers. This is one of those. Are
we playing the banking game on these guys?
Yeah, of course.
On the URCs of the world?
Yeah, we definitely are. Okay, so the 7th of August, the start of the greatest rivalry tour in Cape Town, Beav, against the Stormers.
Yeah. Enjoy your time in Caprice, boys, but now that first game, they'll win that one.
Banking it. We've banked 4. The week after, or midweek game, Sharks, 11th of August at Kings Park.
Kings Park. I believe this is where, if I'm looking at the schedule, this is where our shadow test team goes out.
Oh, okay.
We win that.
Okay. So that's the All Blacks' basically top team.
I think so. I don't know.
A few days later, we take on the Bulls on the 15th of August at Loftus.
I would love them to put the top team out there and just bury any ghosts of my own there playing the Bulls, but I think that'll be a bit of a mixture of a team.
Yeah.
It'll be tough. Of course, Bulls, this top South African side at the moment, just lost the URC final, but we bank it.
We bank it, okay. I took away the non-banked. The first test match, 22nd of August.
Yep.
South Africa at the Mecca, Alice Park.
I'm going to be brave here.
Test 1 of 4.
This is the one we bank. I'm banking, I think we hit them.
The opening game. You think we surprised them?
I think we would get a wonderful lead in. And they're going to be, this All Black team's going to be different. We bank it.
Midweeker, Lions, 25th of August at Alice Park.
Do we take a foot off the accelerator and give one up here? No, we don't. We bank.
We've gone through half the season unbeaten.
Yeah. There's positive stuff for me.
Test 2 against the Box, the 5th of September, Joburg.
No, you've missed one.
Oh, sorry. Box.
I'm supposed to be not in control of admin here.
The 29th of August, Cape Town.
Lovely place to play rugby. It'll be a bit cooler, no altitude. That's the one I'll give them.
You'll give the Box Cape Town. Yeah, it's so funny that
I think we come out the gates early.
Yeah.
Then they'll adjust.
So it's one apiece.
One apiece after one.
One apiece. Okay. So the next week, the third and final in South Africa, remember?
Yep.
The 5th of September in Joburg.
We make adjustments and we win that one.
We basically win the series because let's be honest, the series decided in those 3 test matches.
Yep.
You're that confident.
Yep.
You're that confident that we banked 2 out of 3 in South Africa.
Yep.
Okay. How confident are you? How many of those tests, those 3 in South Africa, do we bank according to you? Let us know in the comments. We continue on. We play South Africa again. So the tour does go to 4 matches.
Yes.
That is at Baltimore. The 12th of September against the Box in Baltimore.
Yeah, Baltimore concerns me just for...
Holiday mode.
Yeah, America hasn't been a happy hunting ground for us. So
finds a way to get some people.
I'm going to give the Box Baltimore.
Okay, so it's 2 each.
Yeah.
So the series is drawn.
Yeah, I like to think the series was 2-1, and that we're all just making money in Baltimore.
We're just making money in Baltimore. Yeah.
It's the Barbarians game. That's essentially the Barbarians game.
So do either team put their top team out?
Yeah, I think the Box would. I think we'll sprinkle a few of those 44 in there.
Okay. This is for us.
Yeah.
I mean, it is a great rivalry, but it is also a World Cup dress rehearsal.
100%.
Okay, so we split the series and go 2 from 2, but in Beav's mind, we win it in South Africa 2-1.
Yeah.
We continue on, having banked 10 from 11 of the season. No, sorry.
9 from 11.
9 from 11.
Yeah.
9 from 11 so far. We come back to New Zealand less than a month later.
Yes.
And we have Australia at Eden Park.
Bank.
10th of October.
Bank. Back-to-back against the Wallabies, isn't it?
Back-to-back. 17th, we go to Sydney at Core Stadium.
They'll give a better account of themselves, but we're banking it.
2-0 against the Aussies.
Yep.
Bledisloe safe once again.
Correct.
Eden Park record safe.
Yeah.
We've got Ireland and the Wallabies at Eden Park.
Yes.
So that's another year.
Yeah.
33 now and counting, is it?
54 games, yep.
Something like that.
Yep.
Okay. Scotland. We're now at the second leg of the Nations Championship.
Yes.
So we play half of the Six Nations team in the July window and then half in the November window. First up, we have Scotland. 7th of November, Murrayfield.
Yeah, respectfully banked.
Wales, the 14th of November in Cardiff.
Yeah, more respectfully banked.
England, Twickenham, 21st of November.
Yeah, we'll right some wrongs there because, to be fair, let's be pretty honest, that tour can actually lend itself to building towards England. So it's a banker. Like, the boys can be primed for that one.
Then we've got one final test of the year.
It's the grand final.
That's the grand final.
Yeah.
It's in London. London weekend at Twickenham across 3 days.
It's not a bad
the
test. Not a bad
Six
tour.
Nation teams, Six Nation teams, the Rugby Championship teams, plus Japan and Fiji, and they all cross over depending on where you finished in the standings. So if we finish 1, we play number 1 of the Six Nations. If we finish 2, we play 2. And that is how the final works. So we don't know exactly who will be taking on.
Yeah.
But according to your statistics, we've banked so far...
I think we're unbeaten in the Nations Cup, aren't we?
We're unbeaten in the Nations Cup. We've won the series in South Africa, even though we've split the games 2 apiece. We've only lost 2 tests out of the 12 that we've played. So we've banked 10 games, lost 2, 1 final to play.
Been a real good year. Good year, Renz. Well done. First up, Artie and the boys.
It's hard to tell whether you bank it when you don't know who your opposition is.
Yeah, exactly. But we'll bank it. We'll bank it.
So we're going 11 from 13
yeah.
in the first year under Dave Rooney.
A
year out from a World Cup.
If you're a rugby fan and you've always dreamt of doing one of those tours, if you could go for 1 week and you tick off All Blacks at Twickenham against England, then you hang around for another week and you get every rugby team in the world playing in London, isn't it? Yeah. I know they're probably, are they spreading the games or is it all at Twickenham? I think it's at Wembley.
Oh, are they spreading them out?
Yeah, but you're there.
Yeah.
Wicked.
Okay, well, clearly it's a tour Beav's getting on.
Nah, I'm not a fan of the Nations Cup.
Putting his hand up.
I don't believe in it, but if you're a rugby fan who wants to watch all the big teams.
Would you rather go 2 weeks there or 2 weeks on the greatest rivalry tour in South Africa? As a rugby fan.
You probably go for tour, but geez, London.
Are you going tour or are you going to London? I reckon you're going to London.
Yeah,
Doesn't matter who's playing.
I don't mind London.
You're going to London.
Yeah.
I'm going to South Africa for 2 weeks. I'll go Cape Town and maybe I'll see somewhere I haven't seen. Is Durban all right?
Durban's good.
There you go.
Yeah.
I'll go Durban and Cape Town for 2 weeks.
Couple of bars I can send you up to in Durban.
There you go. Okay, now a couple of questions to finish off,
Yes.
Beav. Is the starting team fairly obvious now that we've seen this 34? What are the positions that you'd say, no, they're still up for grabs? I think our Lucy's, aside from maybe our 6.
I think if Wallace
at 8, Artie at 7.
Well, no, I wonder if Peter
Larkey's at 8.
Yeah.
Wallace on the bench for you.
No. I wonder if it's a Wallace,
Wallace at
Peter,
6.
Wallace, Artie. Yeah.
Okay,
those
so
three.
there are still plenty of positions up for grabs.
Yeah, and I think you're obviously going to get a lot more. You're guessing until the first week.
The reason why I ask is because of your impossible task that you set to our wonderful listeners that no one will pick Dave Rennie's first All Blacks team. That were your words. Well, next Thursday we'll know, Beav.
Next Thursday.
That's why I'm asking you whether you think it's fairly obvious now.
Well, no, it's not like glaringly
Will
obvious.
Josh Morby make the starting team? Because that could throw a spanner in and save you.
If he was for 15.
We don't know
Anywhere.
how we'll...
If Josh Moore was anywhere, thank you, Rens. You saved me having to give out prize packs galore. The other thing is midfield. Is it one of those 2 13s or does Quinn play 13?
Yeah.
Like there are some...
We don't know.
Yeah.
So it's not obvious.
Not glaringly obvious,
And
no.
this is why Beav set the impossible task. That someone may win.
You'll get a good prize pack from Black Magic.
Okay, so
I bet
not
you got
obvious.
the prize packs waiting for you.
Who do you think, crystal ball, who's going to be the MVP for the All Blacks? Who's going to have the season of their life? It can be an obvious one. It can be an Artie or
two jump
a
out.
Toops or...
2 jump out for me.
Tell us.
The captain, Artie.
And the 9.
Nah, well, I did him last year and he backed it up. I think Geordie Barrow.
Okay. Those are our 2 absolute world-class
Team of the year.
team of the year.
IRB player. We haven't had an IRB player of the year for a while, have we?
So who will it be? If
Actually,
there's
we
an
have. We've had Artie about a year ago.
yeah, off the World Cup.
Yeah.
Or after the World Cup.
Yeah, sorry.
So if we are to have one, it'll come from our captain
or
Geordie
Yeah,
Barrow.
Geordie, yeah.
Okay. Who could surprise us, do you think? And who could force their way into the starting side? I know it's hard to know when we don't know who's going to be in it. But by the end of the season, is there a player that you think could surprise us and end up in a Dave Rennie 15 or 23 that we're not currently thinking?
It won't surprise anyone, but at the start of Super Rugby, I guess everyone always probably thought Cody was just Cody and he's our...
Well, he is, because Dave Rennie said he was the only other option to be captain.
Of captain. I just saw how the other 2 had come on leaps and bounds that maybe they'll be pushing him.
If Cody was the only other...
Then he was our starter.
Then he must be the starter, right?
Yeah.
If you're making that presumption.
Well, then I guess
those are the only 2 in the conversation.
Someone to come from the clouds, although he's in there now, would I wonder if Numia.
And Numia, yeah.
Just carry on his work.
Yeah.
And I mean the big thing for him, and we've jokingly said we don't know enough about it, is going to be scrum.
Yeah.
And if he can stand up to international scrum pressure, then wow, because we know what else he's got.
Yeah.
There's so many, to be fair, Kirst.
Yeah, there is.
That you could highlight. Like the fact is both those Hurricanes winger boys. Or does Caleb Clark get back, get happy, get on the end of some exciting play, and Caleb Clark shows us for 80 minutes what he only gets a chance to do for a couple of minutes at a time with the Blues, you know? Like I think when you've seen his body language for the Blues, I think he's just hanging out to be on the end of some of this almost Hurricanes play.
Where do you, by the end of the season, when we know what they're thinking, where do you think Will Jordan ends up for the All Blacks?
Here's a question. My gut still tells me on a wing.
What does your gut tell you? Where will Will Jordan end up for the All Blacks by the end of the season?
Yeah. It's only a gut feel.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's only a gut feel. And we bank all but 2 test matches.
Yeah.
That's a great year.
It's
what
a
wonderful
start.
first year.
Yeah, good start. Well done.
I am very, very excited, like I think everybody in New Zealand. And I think people overseas are excited by this as well, right?
Well, isn't it important that if we ever to see another Anton Segner from another far-flung country around the world, we need to have a good All Black team?
Exactly. One last thing for you.
Come
Beav
on.
is back in the comments.
Yes.
Okay, so 34-man squad has just been picked. And look, we're not taking anything away from these boys. But Dave Rennie kept saying yesterday when people kept asking the questions of why is this person not there? He said, don't forget, another 10 players are going to be added for that tour to South Africa. So they're going to take 44 players, which you'd imagine. And we've had people sending in lists. And it was started by Manaka. But he posted his 10 extras to go to South Africa, and other people have then added who they're expecting. Big Jim, Duplessis Karifi, Rico Ioane, Scott Barrett, Richie Mwanga, Amoni Narawa, Lester Whanganuku, Fabian Holland, and Shannon Frizzell was the 10 that Manukar suggested.
Yep.
He wouldn't be too far off.
Wouldn't be too far off. Are we allowed Frizzell and Richie?
Once they've played NPC.
Okay.
Remember?
And is that in time for 44?
It's not in time for the announced 44, but I'm sure they'll find a way once the NPC 30 minutes.
Why don't we name 42 then?
Name 42. Or name 42 with 2 injured.
Yeah, 2
that you can scratch.
Oh, I mean that 10, not far off when you think, like, let's
covering positions.
Fabian and Scott Barrett would have been in the squad.
Yes.
Lester would have been in the squad.
Yeah.
Who was that one that would have been absolute lock-in? Will was
Tamaiti,
named.
but
Tamaiti. So he's 4 straight away.
But Tamaiti was unsure about whether or not he's going to come back.
So you got those 4 who would have been absolutely locked in regardless.
And then Richie and Shannon.
Richie and Shannon will be
6.
Close to being locked in. Maybe Shannon might have to work a bit harder not work a bit harder, but I think Richie's obviously definitely.
Yeah.
And then Shannon will obviously probably prove himself, although Renz would have sent a lot of them in Japan already. And so then you're probably looking only realistically at about 3, and those names you mentioned are obviously all high profile and in form and well and truly you could see that. So was Lucas Casey one of those?
No, and so I'll give you another few names that people have started to throw out here. Tom Moifalau.
Is he available by then?
He's available around Bledisloe time. He's available around August.
Well, he becomes a real chance.
Tom Moifalau. Odin Ryan, remember the Blues?
Yep, I do.
Okay. These are just people throwing out names here.
No, to be fair, actually, when you think about, we've got this 3 who are outstanding, who are on another level.
Yeah, the development.
And then who's number 4? Yeah.
Yeah, these are just being thrown out there.
Jeez, you got Taylor, Bell, all those boys too. I've just
Lucas Casey.
Yeah, carry on.
Lucas Casey.
Yep.
Torian Barnes.
Yep.
There's all names just being thrown out there.
Great names.
Great names. It's a lot of excitement.
Yes.
When you start talking about the next layer down.
Geez, you've got some depth at hooker. When I just, after that stupid comment about who's number 4, and then I remembered Taylor, Bell times 2.
Yeah.
There's a few around.
Yeah.
McAllister. Yeah, it's good squad.
Okay, well, I think that's the aftermatch.
What an aftermatch week.
Look, I feel like I've been on a 3-day bender. It's been a big weekend.
I tried to go on one day. Yeah.
But you survived.
Well, I survived. Yeah,
you survived. You made it out of Wellington, and you lived to tell the story. That is the aftermatch with Kirsten Beav. Let us know how many tests you think the All Blacks are going to bank this year. How you think that greatest rivalry tour is going to go. Do we split the tests, or do we win the tour outright, or do the Box win the tour? And answer some of these questions. Where will Will Jordan end up? Who are some of the names that could surprise us in this All Blacks team by the end of the season? And who could be the All Blacks MVP to maybe put their name up for nominations of World Rugby's Player of the Year? That is the aftermatch with Kirsten Beav. Come for the rugby, stay for the aftermatch.